The things that I know about diaspora is what I learned as a student when I was in America, and the commitment, the effort, the hard work of Kenyans living outside the country must always be appreciated. And let's remember, let's not forget, because many people forget back home, let's never forget that we've sent some of our I really understood because they were making it on behalf of the entire like I said to them, that it is time now we provide mechanisms, structures with the government. As the Deputy President promises in his government to have a Ministry of Diaspora, those of us who will be also in the legislature must now provide a committee of diaspora so that its work will be to oversight the work of the government on matters related to diaspora of the executive. And I say this, let's many Kenyans think if you talk about Kenyans in diaspora, it is equivalent to foreign affairs issues. Foreign affairs issues is dealing with other countries, and dealing with affairs of nations and international law issues that bring countries together. We are talking here about our own citizens, our own people, who are, so that is why I appreciate what the DP is saying, that it must be given its own independent and proper management outside the usual issues of foreign affairs, so that the Ministry of Foreign Affairs will have a diaspora person. The Ministry of Diaspora will have their diaspora attaché at the embassy. That is his work. That the work of the attaché is fully to focus on diaspora issues. Then the other issues of immigration, trade, and all that will be dealt with by the other attachés in the various embassies. I also want to say here that I have been informed by some of you who live in diaspora that some who became, who lost their citizenship before the 2010 Constitution are still struggling to get back their citizenship because the regulations say that unless the cabinet secretary signs for you to get back your passport, you may not be able to get back. I think that is an issue that we will go back home and relook at it so that it goes back to the Director General of Immigration and it's handled with all other immigration issues so that you don't have to create this bureaucracy of the big man having to sign your whatever, and before you reach him to sign your documentation, what happens in between, you have to greet him and kneel before him and use an agent and a cousin and all that. We want to reduce that bureaucracy so that we deal with the issue of corruption. Otherwise, I want to say I thank you, people of UK. We love you, we support you. We will do a better job, by the way, the DP made me learn that in the Senate, we are too many who have lived out of the country. Susan, for the 2 or 3 years, she has said, although the DP, because I don't want to say the DPs, right? We have Senator Olekina, over 20 years, Senator Moss. So it is possible to live here and still come and make contribution back home. I think the issue we just need to deal with is whether a certain cadre of leaders, MCA and MP, even if you have a citizenship of another country, should be allowed to serve. Then, like many countries in the world, just say for president, you must not have a citizenship of another country, because it doesn't stop people coming to serve the way the others have come to serve just by virtue of having gained the citizenship of another country. Thank you very much. Na Mungu awabariki.
Yes, we have a gentleman here called Robo. Just 1 minute, Robo.
I'm Jambo. Mimi naitwa Ruto, MCA from Mandera. Pia ni aspiring member of parliament for Kamakunji, Nairobi. Number one, I want to thank the Diaspora team who have made their time to be here today. Number two, I want to thank His Excellency, the Deputy President, who is very busy, who went around to US and to UK, using his private money so that he can able to listen to the people who are living in diaspora, so that when he is making his manifestos, I think you are aware on 15th of March, we are having the National Delegate Conference for UDA, whereby we endorse our Deputy President to be our presidential candidate. And finally, that at that time, the Deputy President, when he's going around, he's trying to get what is called public participation, especially diaspora Kenyans who are not living in Kenya, so that when he's doing his manifesto, he can be able to merge what other Kenyans who are living in diaspora and the other Kenyans who are living in Kenya, so that this issue of how to build one nation and one country to be together at his manifesto. Thank you very much. God bless you.
We ask Governor Mvurya, Salim Mvurya, the Governor of Kwale.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, and the leadership of Diaspora. Good evening. Bwana asifiwe. Assalamu alaikum. I'm really humbled, Your Excellency, because it's a humbling experience to be here in the UK and to feel at home the way I have felt. Because in fact, you could mistake this for an NDC. You can see the UDA colors all over, and I think this is in good spirit. I'm really inspired. And what I want to say is that with the Deputy President, we have a leader. I have been on the other side. I was elected 2013 on ODM ticket. So I worked with the other competitor, and famously tukachapwa viboko mbili mbili. So I'm very much aware. 2017, I moved to Jubilee, and we have really worked together. I know a leader who means what he says is a leader who is very specific. For most politicians, they would borrow heavy words like liberation, like Mandela moment, and you can't hold them to account. If you vote a candidate based on Mandela moment, what will you ask them when they fail to deliver? So mnaona hii iko wazi. If you elect a candidate who is telling you we are now doing a third liberation. You know, I have been here before because I'm an alumni of the IDS Institute here at the University of Sussex. I left here in 2011, and actually 2011 I made my declaration to run for governor in Brighton. So in IDS, as development students, we had a corner which you said glossary of development vocabulary. In that corner, all the words are new words. Now we have new word which we put in the corner, which is called passion. Liberation is there, governance is there. So most of our politicians have been picking the vocabularies there without any definite, specific areas that you can hold them to account. When you listen to Dr. William Ruto, you are very specific. We want to deal with the economy. We want to lift the standards of living of our people. And I think that is where we should be voting. Tusahau ile mambo ingine. And by the way, we have no crisis to unite our people. The crisis we have is that of the economy. So hii maneno ingine ya umoja, there's no crisis. It is part of the glossary we will put at the corner. General words which you can't help people to account. For the first time in our history, we have a leader who is coming to talk to you, to ask for your priorities. I'm sure those who have spoken before you were already in the seat. Sindio? Those who made diaspora, they were already presidents, so they did not have the inspiration to address your issues. But here we have a leader who has come to us, and not just here, all the 47 counties, to discuss specific priorities. You have promised 700 votes. Inspire those who are at home to vote for Kenya Kwanza, so that we form government. Lastly, Chairman, you know there are also very specific in UDA and Kenya Kwanza is to make sure that we profile the priorities in county governments. So investments can be very specific. The bottom-up economic model can also be specific to counties. So as you prioritize your investment, I think it would be important that you also see what is available in the counties, and then you can be able to invest. Otherwise, nimefurahi sana. Nimefurahi tena zaidi, na furaha yangu kubwa ni kukutana na huyu mheshimiwa Kanete ambaye tumekuwa tukisoma kwa gazeti kwamba ni kansela upande huu. Pale Brighton nilifanya kazi na makansela sana wakati nikifanya utafiti na mambo hii ya kuhusisha wananchi. Kwa hivyo nikafurahi sana kwamba ulichaguliwa. Kwa hivyo mimi sina mengi, na waomba sana, hii ndio serikali, na serikali hii haitaundwa, tunaiunda pamoja. Tunaiunda pamoja, na ndio maana masuala haya yote ambayo yanazungumzwa hapa ni ya kipaumbele na ni muhimu, na tumehakikishiwa na kiongozi wetu yatashughulikiwa. Kule kwingine bado ni hadithi ya Bunwasi, na wale wanafanya hadithi bado ni wa Kenya. Watapata jukumu ingine ya kuzungumza na watoto wetu, lakini mambo ya uongozi wa nchi tumuunge mkono Mheshimiwa Ruto, aunde serikali na Kenya iende mbele. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much. Let me ask our dear sister Anne Waiguru, the governor of Kirinyaga.
Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya and the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya. I said, sorry, Your Excellency, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya and the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya. You know, all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. You know, I'm a bit distracted because I have some neighbors there who I was sitting next to, and I won't mention. But when the Deputy President was speaking, and then when my colleague was speaking, I won't say who said what, but they reminded me that nilikuwa kwa hiyo timu ya reggae. Lakini ninawaambia, you know, niliokoka. You know, even the Bible speaks about those people who came Kuna wale walianza saa 12 asubuhi. Kuna wale waliandikwa saa 4. Kuna wale waliandikwa saa 6. Na bado kuna time ya wale watakuja saa 9. Si ndio? Na wengine saa 10. Mwishowe mshahara ni ule ule. Kutangulia sio kufanya nini? Bora ufike. Then I'm trying very hard not to look at that side because there was quite a number of things they said which have made my day. I've actually even requested Murkomen to walk out so I'm able to talk. We have a problem, and you have heard from the Deputy President that we have a problem in Kenya. We have a problem with a regime that puts itself above the Constitution and the law many times. And we're not just saying it because we're on this side of the divide. There is evidence by the fact that there is over 300 court orders or more against that government. That tells you they've tried to do things that are in violation of the Constitution. Sometimes that regime puts itself even above or in the place of God. They want to decide who becomes what. Wewe, shuka chini. Wewe mama yako ni nani? Rudi hivi. You, we don't know you. You can't go there. Even to the extent, even if they don't say it directly, to say that the Deputy President doesn't qualify to be the President of Kenya because he does not come from a certain pedigree. That is putting yourself in the place of God. Mimi nimesema niliokoka. And we have refused to associate ourselves with that side. And we went to the side of hope and the side of God. That is what we believe. So we're not here just because you've heard what the Deputy President has said himself. He has a plan for Kenya. He doesn't just tell you, back me. He tells you why you should back him. And I don't believe that there's anybody who's going to walk out today unconvinced that this man deserves to be given the opportunity to lead the country as the 5th President of the Republic of Kenya. Now, from an economic perspective, so that I don't talk for long, and I know he has talked about the bottom-up economic model. There could be people here who have studied economics. But the bottom-up economic model is actually an economic, scientific model that will result in economic growth. If you want to grow an economy, you have two options. And I think I've said this before, maybe some of you have heard me say it. You can intervene on the fiscal side of the economy, or you can intervene on the monetary side. Now, on the monetary side, you deal with issues of money supply and issues such as the exchange rate. Now, you have heard, we don't have any money. That is why we don't save. So you cannot actually intervene on that side. The opportunity does not arise. You can't actually touch, we don't have money supply at this point in time. Now, on the fiscal side, you have two choices. You can go and tweak with the tax issues, play around with the taxes, increase, decrease here and there, and then you'll be able to expand the economy depending on the interventions that you make. You already know that Kenyans are overtaxed. Right now, the Deputy President cannot say he's going to run for the seat of the President and say, well, I'm going to grow this economy by increasing your taxes. Kenyans, wherever they are, they want their taxes reduced. So the only other option left is actually on the expenditure side, which is really now what he's telling you is the bottom-up economic model. If you invest the amount of resources that you have had that will be invested in the lower part of the economy of Kenya will grow roughly in the first year, and I'm speaking from experience and I'll tell you why, by about minimum of 5 to 6, roughly, first year. If he puts that 100 billion in SMEs and puts the 50 billion, wherever it is he has said, in housing and all that, you will span economic growth in the first year over 5. By the second and third, we will be at probably 8 or 9%. And I'll tell you, because when I was in Treasury, I was the head of the Economic Stimulus Program. And the Economic Stimulus Program that actually turned our economy from a -2 growth rate to 8% during Kibaki's time. And that time we only invested 25 billion shillings only into the economy. We pushed it at the bottom, and that's the impact that we got. Everybody talks about President Kibaki turning around the economy. So we are here because we believe it. We have seen the program he has given us. He has talked to us. You have heard he understands it himself. It's not just theory. And we believe that this will bring hope to very many Kenyans. 80% of Kenyans are way below the poverty line. On the issue of the programs of the bottom-up, in Kirinyaga, you have heard about the things that we're doing because things are being imported. In Kirinyaga, we have a program called Wezesha Kirinyaga. And I'll just say 1 minute, one thing about Wezesha Kirinyaga. It's a bottom-up economic model. Why is it a bottom-up economic model? We look for farmers to empower them because they do not have that credit. They cannot borrow. And if they borrow, they can't pay. We provide them with resources to be able to put up a program for poultry. And so we get a group of 10, and we give them 1,250 chicks, and we provide them with feeds for 6 months, and we build the chicken house for them so that they can produce eggs. And in Kirinyaga, we're now producing about 1 million. We're now heading to 2 million eggs on that program a year, a month. Why did we do that? We did it because one day I was reading the newspapers and somebody said that we're importing 10 million eggs from Uganda every month. Why would Kenyans be importing eggs? This is the same concept of the bottom-up. So if you don't think it can work, it can actually work. All those people in that program have increased their income by about 1,000 shillings each per day. 1,000 shillings each per day for a farmer translates to about an extra 30,000 shillings a month on just one program. And these are people who did not have that income at all. So imagine you have a poultry line, then you have a dairy, and we are also doing the AI where we have, the dairy intervention where we're increasing the production of milk in Kirinyaga from 5 liters to 15 liters by again ensuring that we're giving proper feeds, but also improving the breed that we're giving out to our farmers. So it can be done. It's not theory, and it is really, really for the country of Kenya, something that will bring us a lot of hope. This is the only thing I would say. I've been on this side mostly because of loyalty, but then your conscience also can pull you to the other side because of reason and because of hope. This country of Kenya, where we are at, the way it is at is unsustainable. You cannot sustain the country of Kenya the way it is today. Having the 4 richest people controlling over 80% of the resources in that country, it cannot work. It's not sustainable. And even if you manage to threaten, push people, arrest, it will reach a point that it will break. So we must find a solution for our country. And the solution for our country at this point in time, I'm not only persuaded, I am convinced and I'm convicted that that solution lies with William Samoei Ruto. So I think what we may ask for you, everybody has talked about the things that you've requested for and the things that you'll be given, so I will not go there. I know that you've already committed, Your Excellency. to give them a ministry that deals with their issues. I think what we will ask, let me also be on this side asking the diaspora, niwaombe, ama niwaulize. This party, we will not win by just sitting and talking to ourselves in echo chambers. We stand a very good chance of winning. In fact, I'm coming short of saying we will win by the grace of God. I think we all need to play our part. You need to play a part also. Diaspora is most likely going to be voting. We have very many people in diaspora, here and in other countries. You are the voices that can reach them, explain to them, convince them, and bring them to our side so that we ensure that in diaspora, over 90%, in fact, if possible, 95% of the votes come to this side of UDA Kenya Kwanza. That is a request. For you to do that, you'd have to give of your time. You would have to give of your resources. You'd have to drive to somebody's home. You'd need to speak to your people at home also. Maybe even support the party or the local chapter. That is really what, on behalf of the team, because we have also given quite a bit, make a slight request. And because I heard there are very many preachers in the room, I don't know whether anyone knows what, I think it's 2 Corinthians 8:7 says. And just as you excel, and just as you excel in everything, in faith, in speech, in knowledge, in earnestness, and in your love for us, see that you also excel in this grace of giving. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Anne. Let me ask finally the governor of Turkana, Judge Fatma.
Asanteni sana. Bwana asifiwe. Bwana asifiwe. Salamu alaikum. Asante sana. Your Excellency, I appreciate being here and to address our fellow citizens out here in the UK. This is great. And I think after the Deputy President has spoken, there is very little we can really say because we believe in what he has said. I serve two roles. One is as the governor of Turkana. I'm concluding my term. I've only have five months to finish up, and I'm not refusing with the seat. Neither am I forcing it on to the people of Turkana, like what some people are trying to do. But I'm also serving as the head of William Ruto's presidential campaign. And we have a big team. It's not a small team. It's a team of competent professionals that is working with him for quite some time now. I think from that moment you heard that the media back home, the mass media was saying, Ruto has no plan. He's just, this is just political gimmicks. I think they didn't know what they were saying, because that plan was there. And indeed, you have just enriched that plan. Because as constituent or county number 48, you have given your views of what you think are priorities, and these are views that are going to be to inform the charter you are going to sign with the Deputy President. I believe very early in April you will have to sign that charter, April or May, along with all the other 47 counties who are currently engaging in discussion to set their business plan and the priorities.
So it's completely different, and this hasn't been done this way before in Kenya. This is the first time that people can actually be told, tell us the solutions to the problem you are facing, and government will invest into those solutions. Government will prioritize and put resources into that. And I want to thank my colleague, Governor Igoro, for emphasizing what the bottom-up is, on how we will grow ourselves out of debt through the bottom-up, how we will grow ourselves out of poverty. And that is a major plan. When you hear a competitor, actually I served for almost 10 years or 12 years with Raila Odinga. I was his vice chair in the party, and I think Owen Baya was the deputy organizing secretary then. But we left because we did not see a plan. We did not see the interest of the people were not being served. It was just a story, a story, a story. At the end of the day, very good manifestos are being put aside and other things are begun. But here we have that plan, the bottom-up, and it is a strong plan. It is detailed. It is going to refocus the government of Kenya to be more aggressive in commercial diplomacy. And I know many of you are here, not only sending money, but you want to position yourselves as to take advantage of investments out here and back home. And I think that is going to be the aggressiveness that bottom-up economic plan is going to be emphasizing. A critical component which your chair and secretary general have spoken into is about the Constitution. I saw you quoting quite a number of articles in the Bill of Rights and other sections saying, this one gives us this right, it's not been effected. UDA, through presidential candidate William Ruto, promises to implement the Constitution to the letter. Not to amend the Constitution and change it, but to implement it, because there are still very good things inside. The entire area of Bill of Rights has very good things. The entire area of environment and natural resources, the entire section on devolution, the entire section on financing. I think all those are areas that we will still want to see the benefits being ripped into. And all that can be, we can be able to get it through the bottom up. But of course also giving the independent institutions, the judiciary, National Police Service, the independence that the Constitution provides them and the resources to be able to deal with issues, matters, rule and law, and corruption. He doesn't talk about that because he doesn't want to commit on anything. And I think just as my colleague Mvurya has said, he wants to talk about Mandela movement, because Mandela movement for a show in Nakuru, I mean, how can you be accountable to that mama on a Mandela moment? They don't even know what it is. But at least you can be accountable to say, I will help Mama Mboga get fair credit. I will help the Boda guy get this specific thing. I will help the people in Diaspora be able to process their documentation within a very short time. You know, that is a commitment. And I think for you even who are voting and for those others who have undecided, I think you have the opportunity to turn them and tell them, seriously, this is a guy who has a plan and is ready to work for Kenyans wherever. And I can tell you for a fact, we were in the States the last 1 week, we are here now, the reception has been very positive, even from non-Kenyans, because they see this is a serious group and this is a serious candidate. So let's stand with him. We have 5 months to election. It is a lot of time. 5 months is not very few. It's a lot of time. It is also a very short period. How can we be able to make sure that the deputy president becomes the president of Kenya, so that what he promises is fulfilled? So that for the first time, millions of Kenyans can directly benefit with money and support from government to be able to improve their lot. We have a responsibility, all of us. You have a responsibility here in the diaspora. The most critical number one is voting. The 700 of you, I know many of you are not, a number of you also are not voting. So, but we must vote, every man and woman, to 100% of that 700. Second, your moral support, your financial support to the campaign is going to be very critical. Very, very critical. We have begun a campaign, and you will be seeing, you will be seeing updates on the internet and the blog, so that you can follow the UDA candidate wherever he goes and wherever he plans. So that will be available. What is he doing tomorrow? What is he doing next month? All that information will be getting to the letter as we move forward. We have also beginning a campaign of adopting a polling station because we want to protect that vote. First, before I give details, William Samoei Ruto and the party UDA is promising a fair and free election. He has been on record that he will accept the results of these coming elections. He has been on record that we will not entertain violence among members of UDA. So UDA must be peaceful during this election. And he has also been on record with a response that has not been provided that our competitors must publicly commit. They have not yet. As usual, they have not yet, because that is their route of negotiating handshakes. They have not. And we will continue insisting that they make that commitment of agreeing to the results of elections. So it is critical mobilize the vote, it is critical protect the vote. I know you have a big following, relatives and friends back home. It is your chance to make sure that those relatives vote where you think results are going to be coming. And for the first time, majority of Kenyans are going to be benefiting. We're beginning a campaign of protecting the vote at the very lowest voting level, the polling center, and the polling stations. For your information, we have about 55,000 polling stations, 24,000 polling centers, where the vote is going to be cast, the vote is going to be counted, 290 constituencies where both the count and the tallying, including the presidential vote, is going to be done, which will be final. So it's critical areas where we must protect the vote. We are telling our competitors, protect your vote. We will protect ours. This is where we can be able to make contributions. You can easily adopt your own home polling station or polling center from the village where you come from. You could decide as a group to adopt a ward. You could decide to adopt a constituency or a county. That is your contribution to this campaign that we are looking at, so that the days preceding 9th of August and until the vote is counted, we make sure that we have very good vote protection and we have very few incidences of vote theft. We have also asked the international community and the civil society and the media to make sure that they have deployed as much as possible to all these polling stations, to all the 290 constituency tallying centers, so that at least they can help us be able to relay accurate information and to confirm the results that IBC will be announcing in those stations. Kwa hivyo, we have a very big journey to work together if we have to see the benefits of what we've been told. And I believe that all the issues you've raised here on the diaspora are doable. So let's work together to make sure that they are realized under this presidency. And I can tell you Raila will be following us here. He will follow us here because he has no agenda. He will follow us here. He will tell you he will fix the economy. He will do this. But listen to him keenly. There will be no commitment. He will make specific commitment. So thank you, Your Excellency. I know that you will win this election. We know you will win. But these 5 months, we must get a win of 70%. Asanteni sana.
Thank you very much, Governor Nanok. Let me, you guys dared us to a meeting. And now I'm sure you must be wondering whether you got the bargain you asked for. I know we have taken quite a while, but I'm very sure that you wanted to listen to these great men and women, their experiences, their wisdom, their understanding of issues. And let me say to all of you, we appreciate that you have also taken time to listen to us. We are confident that we live here better informed in every way, and that you will be able to make the correct choices, because we believe that you can only make the quality of your decision is dependent on the amount of information that you have, so that you can make the right decision. So we wish you well in your hustles and in everything that you do in this great country. We look forward to working together with you as we focus into the future. My good brother, Musalia Mudavadi, came late because we were using different routes. So, but he's with us. He'll be in this town later today. David Ndi, Dr. David Ndi will be with us later today. Ababu Namwamba will be with us later today. Mohammed Hussein and other members of this team who are using a different route. I convey their apologies for not making it to this meeting, but they will be with us beginning tomorrow in the other engagements that we have. So asanteni sana, nawatakia heri. I know there were people who would have wanted to ask questions, but it is 8 o'clock, and we have another engagement that was pending from 6:30. But to be fair, let me just take 3 questions. This young man here, that gentleman there, and the lady. There is a lady somewhere. A lady, you're not a lady. A lady somewhere here. Okay, let's start with the lady.
Thank you, Deputy President.
Straight to the question.
My question is, I'm so worried when it comes to the time of election. And this time, how can you assure us? Because as for me, I have corrected people to go to the registration at the embassy. We have got card and we are ready to vote. But how can you assure us that your vote will not be stolen?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. The gentleman there.
Hello, thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Charles. I'm a staff nurse working at London Northwest University Trust Hospital. I have a problem with the nurses, kindly, Mr. Deputy President. When our president came here to implement the nursing agreement, unfortunately, it is really, really hard for now nurses to really come to the UK. It's terrible, to be honest with you. We are the only country in the amber list. If you could check on how the UK normally allow nurses to come here. So basically, if you could assist us to get a better plan and a better deal like other countries like Philippines, and then if you could please, because I believe God will give you the opportunity to lead the country. I'm a bit nervous, oh my God.
It's okay. No, let him finish. Let him finish. Let him finish.
I'm from Dandora. It's a privilege to talk to you. I'll be honest. Yeah. It's a privilege to talk to you. And if you could assist us kindly, nurses, and for the opportunity and for the healthcare system that we give these guys over here. My own is my dad has hypertension back home, and I feel when I take good care of patients here, unfortunately, back home, I send money for him to get treated. I wish if we could have such a health system, back home, and also for the nurse.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There was that gentleman, the gentleman there, that gentleman there.
Mheshimiwa Rais,
Yeah,
nina swali hapa.
that's all right. That's all right. Yes.
Your Excellency, the Deputy President, thank you very much for giving us the time. Mine is more looking at opportunities for veterans. There was a time we spoke to the Commonwealth Graves Society here, and they mentioned that there is a lot of people who fought in the World War, and they have not been commemorated. So I wanted to ask whether there is a way that when you're doing the proposal, you can add that, because we are working together with our 254 chair in that consideration. So that could be something that could be added.
Thank you.
And we can work together.
Thank you. Let me start with him. Just hold your horse. Yeah. You will be next. Just will be next. Yeah, we'll give the fellow with disability. Don't worry. Let me start with that gentleman. In our delegation, as you have heard, we are going to specifically have a charter with the diaspora. And we want that charter with the diaspora to be negotiated so that we have the priority issues. And amongst them, exactly what you're saying, David Ndii is going to be here. He is our economic guru. He is going to be here specifically to engage with you as we did with your colleagues in America on the priority areas. I recommend that because we are here for the next 2 days, that Dr. Masera, please facilitate so that the meeting with the people here through the chairman can be, because the people in the US documented, they gave us a written submission. If we can get the same from you, it will inform our priority list as we develop the charter with the diaspora. That's one. My good brother, the young man from Dandora, you have spoken to the heart of an issue that even had escaped my mind. Today, we are having a conversation that Kenyans in diaspora are contributing 400 billion shillings to our economy every year. They are the biggest stabilizers of our foreign exchange challenge. But we are not having the other conversation. The more important conversation is it possible for us to take it from 400 billion every year to 1 trillion? How do we leverage on our human capital? Because we have one of the best human capital anywhere in the world. How do we leverage on that human capital to grow the economy of our country? How do we do what the young man is saying there? How do we facilitate more nurses to work in the international space rather than many of the nurses, hanging around in our country when they cannot get an opportunity to work? Everybody who cannot get an opportunity to work in Kenya, is it possible for us to facilitate them to work elsewhere to work in the diaspora. I think that's really the conversation we need to have. And we could easily take the earnings from the diaspora, like other countries have done, from 400 billion every year to 500, 1 trillion, and we can actually use it as an effective tool deliberately to sell our human capital. It is because you market what you have. We may not have gold, we may not have oil, but we have a human resource that we can use to make money. So that's really the conversation we have. And I agree with you that we need to make it that much more easy. I think when we signed the agreement, it produced the opposite result. Instead of making it easier for Kenyans to come to the UK, it has made it slightly difficult because now it brought in other issues. So we will need to straighten up those issues so that the original intention is achieved and we can get much more, many more Kenyans into the diaspora to work and help support our economy as they support their families. And then the good lady has said, how do we make sure that this vote is not stolen? Let me give you my word. Yeah? Let me give you my word. This vote will not be stolen. Yeah? And if you look at me properly, I am not the type of a person that anybody can steal their vote from me. It's not possible. It's not possible. It's not possible. And I have often said this, just for you to understand. We ran against the handshake people in Lungalung, in Msambweni. And this man led our team in Msambweni, this Salim Vuria. He led our team in Msambweni. We defeated the handshake group in Msambweni. We ran against the handshake group in Juja. We defeated them in Juja. We ran against the handshake people in Kiambaa. And we defeated them in Kiambaa. If they could not steal the vote in Kiambaa, tell me how they're going to steal the vote anywhere. They will not steal nobody's vote. The only thing they can do is maybe to cause violence. But that, too, we will not allow them. That is why we have put a lot of pressure, and that's why you see them complaining in Nairobi. Yeah? That they are complaining that we have told the international community that there must be free, fair, and peaceful elections. If they are not, if they have no plan of doing monkey games or causing a situation that will not be peaceful, then why are they complaining? They should be saying, the same way we are saying that we are committing ourselves, number one, to run a peaceful campaign, and number two, to accept the results of the election. Why is it possible, or why is it not possible for the candidate on the other side to make a simple commitment that they will accept the outcome of the election, whether it goes either way? And you see, it becomes much more pronounced if you are dealing with a notorious candidate who has never accepted the outcome of any election. So that's why we are telling them they must go back public, unequivocally commit that they will accept the outcome of this election, so that we can be on the same we can be on the same plane. So that's my commitment to you. Those people, they will not even try. We have to go. We have to go. Okay, let me, that gentleman. Yeah, just let's hold it. Yes, sir. I agree with you that it's a good idea. Maybe you are telling us that a bond does not necessarily be a government bond, that you can have also a political party. Just wait. You can also have a political party bond. Financial analysts will, we do not want to do something on the basis of guesswork. Financial analysts will have to tell us whether a political party has the capacity, to underwrite a bond, So we'll have to work it out, but you will have to accept that Rome was not built in one day. It is a process, and we have had you. Sawa? The lady behind there. We have one lady behind there.
A disability question, Your Excellency.
And then the gentleman with disability, okay? The gentleman with disability.
Thank you very much, all of you, those who did to hire this place and invited us all here, and to Your Excellency, the Deputy. Number one, where is Alan Barredo Ali? Number two, yeah, our representatives are paid very highly throughout the world, yeah? They also got related benefits, yeah? So, from my perspective and where I come from Northeastern Province, if you get this, if you are elected, I would like the benefit that are given, extra benefit that are given to Northeastern or Northern region, or disadvantaged regions, to be regulated with the extra benefit that are paid. Because if you go to the Constitution, from Thursday, all the MPs that are allowed to go back to their constituencies and sort out the problems. They are paid mileage, they are paid entertainment, they are paid a lot of things. Northeastern people, when they are elected, you never see them, or most of them, until five years are over. Number three, equal opportunity, okay? Women and men, those who are elected, we must play equal opportunity. The 47 counties, with the new constitution, we are proud of the modern one. They give women 47 opportunities, extra seats. Forget about the other seats on competitive. On our women, we would like to have the principle of Susan Kiiga and Mother Karua and many of them, like the woman from Vihiga tonight. Yeah, principle number one, transparency, equality, everything. Because these 47, what have they done differently from men? What are we proud of with this, this revolution? They brought new extra women into seats. In my region, I don't see them, or whatever. So we need equal opportunities for women to contribute.
Another question on Northeastern, His Excellency.
I think just so that I don't forget, so that
Mheshimiwa Deputy President.
Just hold on. Hold on. So that I don't forget, I think it's good, just only fair, everybody to ask one question, because if you ask 3 questions, it becomes complicated. But let me try and just respond to Honorable Aden Duale was with us in America. We have sent him back to Nairobi because there is an assignment he must do. That's why he didn't come here. So he is landing today in Nairobi because he has an assignment. Number 2, the issue of Northeastern and whether they are treated the same as the rest of the country. Let me tell you, amongst the highest paid members of parliament on mileage and all those other allowances are members from Northeastern Kenya. That is for a fact, and they will tell you. In fact, people like Ichungwa here, they suffer, they don't get any money because from his place from Nairobi to his constituency is only 15 kilometers. So he rarely gets any money out of that mileage maneno. So if they don't show up in Northeastern, it's not because they are not being remunerated to go back home. It must be a different story. On the third one, I disagree with you. Women have brought a lot of value in the legislature in Kenya. I know many people want to complain that they don't see the value of women members of parliament. I want to tell you, my good brother, there are many women that are running today for MPs, and I know 4 of them that we first nominated, they went and ran for those offices and won. So we must accept that affirmative action is necessary for us to bring the level of representation of both gender in the governance of our country. And you can never run away from that particular fact. Maybe I would agree with you that the women MP position should be treated like the parliamentary ones by making sure that there is adequate resources given to the women MPs so that their representation and their participation can be much more effective than what it is at the moment. I think those are the issues you raised. Yes, gentlemen? And then there is a lady behind there.
Mheshimiwa, I heard you speaking about economy. I never heard you speaking of security. Our people are dying like a chicken every day. I've been slaughtered by these people called the devils, Al-Shabaab. What is your opinion, Mr. Deputy President?
My speaking about the economy was deliberate. It was very deliberate. Because I believe very strongly that part of what makes our young people available for recruitment into terrorist networks is because they have no opportunities. In fact, in America, we were having a conversation, and Ababu Namwamba was telling us about a situation where young people in Budalangi were actually being recruited into terrorist networks. Not because of any other reason. It is because economic opportunity is not available to them. Part of dealing with the economy and making sure that we have jobs, we will dry the wells of where the terrorist network get the young people they recruit. So security in our country will be, we will deal with security significantly. Even if you look at what is going on in the Kerio Valley belt, many of the people participating in cattle rustling, and we had ugly incidences yesterday in Baringo of people being victims actually several people being killed because of cattle rustling. It is informed by people not going to school, and secondly, the lack of economic opportunities for them to participate meaningfully. And therefore, the only economic activity they find is to go and steal the neighbor's cows. So we must sort out the economy. But I hear you, security is a major issue, and we cannot talk about all the issues. We have a certain list of priorities that we believe if we deal with, it will significantly dent the challenges of the other sectors, but we have a plan specifically on what to do with security. Excuse me? You see, when you are dealing with the whole space of economic development, even just having a proper road goes ahead to make sure that you reduce incidences of insecurity. So you cannot look at security in isolation. You have to look at security as part of the global picture. You must provide opportunity for economic development. You must provide infrastructure. You must provide money for enterprise development. The net effect is that you have a much more restful society, and incidences of insecurity go down. But that is a very fair engagement. Security is going to be part of our plan, but as a matter of priority, we believe it can be dovetailed into the whole economic development agenda. Thank you. One last one, the lady there. Okay, maybe we'll allow everybody to ask their question, and then.
Oh, hello, good afternoon, Mr. President.
Yes.
Right, I just want to say you've come to Europe and America and you found all these brilliant brains. So I don't want you to go back and then it's a chapter closed, okay? I want us to have a structure that begins from now, that involves the diaspora. It can be a voluntary program. Some people can say, I'll have a month to go to Kenya, I can come and be a part of a certain program that we create that involves all these people. Because these people, if you say to them to go to Kenya, most of them can pay their own trips.
Yes.
But they want to be part of a structure that is honest as they work in this country in an honest way, because they've been giving their views, which most of you see, but I can trust these people more than I can trust anyone in Kenya. Because if they say you're not going to take anything by stealing, I know they will stick by that word. So if you say in places that
lady behind